Near Mint Condition, the home of collected editions.
That cover's so awesome.
This is Mr. Chris Claremont, a legend.
Melanie goes,
Tired. Hey everyone, Amazing Amanda here, and today I'm going to be doing an overview of 4 recent releases from Mad Cave Studios, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone. First and foremost, a big thank you to Mad Cave Studios for sending us each of these books. Really appreciate it. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be giving you an overview, just talk a little bit about the plot and also of the artwork of 4 different releases from Mad Cave. First one we have is Dear Editor, and then Crusader, ATTABOY, and A Phone Call Away. So first up, let's go ahead and talk about Dear Editor. All right, so first up we have Dear Editor by Ryan K. Lindsay, artwork by Sammy Cavella. And this graphic novel is issues 1 through 3, and it tells the story of Bucky, who is a journalist for a newspaper, and he does the crime beat. And essentially there is a John Doe at the morgue, and he goes to investigate. And in his investigation, it kind of leads him through the inner workings and the corruption of City Hall. And there's a lot of different characters in this that he has to cross paths with, including one of his own coworkers, the mayor himself, and there's a lot of twists and turns throughout it. It's very much a crime noir type of book, so obviously it's going to follow that same formula where you're going to have a lot of those twists and turns of the whodunit and what's really going on in the book itself. But it is a fun read, and it's interesting because Bucky is obviously a deer humanoid, and he is the only deer humanoid or any animal humanoid creature in the entire book. So they do a lot with that, with playing on jokes about him being a deer and a little bit of prejudice. So that's really interesting to see that perspective. And obviously even the artwork, like I said, it's a crime noir. So even the artwork you can see has that crime noir feel with the kind of black and white, gray shadings and no color really, just pretty much keeping that overall 1940s movie vibe, if you will. But this is a great book to, get your feet into if you're really into crime noir and seeing things from a different perspective. And then also, besides issues 1 through 3, in the back, there is some additional artwork that you can see here. This, I think, are different covers. And it also has the artist names in there as well, as you can see. And then here's that back cover. So now this retails for $17.99 and it has 108 pages. So definitely pick it up if you're interested. And now let's move on to our next book. All right, the next book that I want to talk about is ATTABOY, the illustrated instructional booklet from Tony McMillan. So this is an interesting story because it's not told in a normal fashion. It's actually told as a person who is writing down his memories of a video game that it seems everyone else has forgotten about except for him. And so in order for him to remember this video game, because he can't find proof of it anywhere, he is creating this instructional booklet while also weaving in the story of his life about being abandoned by his father at an early age, growing up with his mother. And you kind of see the story mirrored in the story of the actual video game itself with the main character and his creator and, of course, the motherboard. What I love about this one is the artwork. It just looks like a child's or a young person's hand-drawn instructional booklet, right down from the way the sketching is on all of the designs. You can just see like the different lines here. And then, of course, the way the watercolors style of the colors go. And even like the playing with the lines. Obviously, you can see that when there are no clear delineations sometimes of where the pages end and the comic strips begin, which is fantastic. It's just a really beautiful book, and I highly recommend everyone checking this out because it's just told in a different perspective through a different medium than a traditional story would be told. All right, so, and then in the back, there is a quick author's note, which I highly recommend you read, and then a little bit of his sketch drawings and designs of some of the characters as well. And there's the back. So now this one, again, retails at $17.99, and it has 88 pages in it. So make sure to check it out wherever books are sold, including some of our sponsors. All right, the next book, our third book in our overview, is Crusader by Matt Emmons, Andrew Lucan. And this one tells a story of a Templar knight who ends up getting sucked into another realm called the Beastlands. And in this story, he is being tracked down by the Pilgrim, who is a evil character, shall we say. And he also saves this other goblin-esque creature called Grimble from some of his captors. And Grimble becomes his sidekick throughout the story. It has a very much of a Mandalorian and Grogu vibe to it, the way it is. But as you can see, there's a little bit of a, cartoonish aspect to the artwork, and very colorful the way it is colored as well, which helps given that we are now in a more of a fantastical world, being in the Beastlands. But it's a good blend of your realism with that sci-fi and fantasy, because rarely do you see stories about the Templar Knights and place them into something like a fantastical world like these Beastlands are. And it is told in several chapters, so it has that very traditional look to it in that respect. And then let's check out the back. So the back has different artwork from the different issues that you can see here from different creators. And then a little bit of that concept art, which is great. It just shows you, the original concept for some of the different characters that appear throughout the graphic novel. And then, of course, just a quick blurb about the different Mad Cave Studio books that are available. So now this one again retails for $17.99, and it has 96 pages. So that is Crusader. And now let's talk about our last book. So last but not least, A Phone Call Away by Richard Duke with art by Russell Olson. And this is your, kidnap thriller, if you will. It starts out with a couple who has a young daughter named Mandy who ends up going missing, and they later find her body. And then throughout the time period, there's a quick time jump where they now have their own reality TV show, and they are, they're starting this reality TV show about their daily lives. And in the midst of all this time, they end up having another daughter named Megan, who is about 6 years old. And the big premise of the story is that now Megan has also gone missing, and now they're trying to figure out who has done it. The central suspect is a Nina Hendricks, who lives alone now, but she was one of the detectives on the original case when Mandy went missing. And so now you have Nina working with the cops today to try to uncover what happened to Megan, while also digging up things that happened in the past to try to figure out maybe the truth about Mandy, because Nina, something never sat right with her on Mandy's disappearance and death. And so she wants to figure out exactly what had happened to Mandy, even though they had dismissed her from the force and everything like that. She's now on a mission to not only find Megan before it's too late, but also find out what happened to their first daughter, Mandy, as well. I'm not going to give you too much as far as, what you're going to see here. Obviously, you could tell by the artwork, it is has a very realistic touch to it, especially the lines and the way the characters are drawn. Very traditional style panels. And then the artist uses great use of color to denote certain feelings and certain scenes depending on what it calls for. As you can see here, they're in a TV studio, and there's a sense of tension. So you can see like it's a little bit darker in there. They have these shades of black and shades of purple to kind of denote that. And then when you're outside, it's a little bit brighter. And even here when they're in the interrogation room, it's a little bit more realistic looking. And then here is the back. So this one retails for $19.99, and it has 82 pages. And that is a phone call away. And if you're interested in any of these books, make sure to check out our sponsor,
CheapGraphicNovels.com, your online home for graphic novels and collected editions up to 50% off cover price. They have excellent shipping and prompt and helpful service. Check out their bargain deals for up to 90% off cover price. And don't forget that CGN also takes pre-orders. That way you don't miss out on the hottest releases. And they are currently running a special promotion for you Minties. If you're a first-time customer, after receiving your order confirmation email, reply back to that email and let them know Near Mint Condition sent you their way. They will then apply a free shipping promotional credit to your next order in the US. Cheap Graphic Novels, your source for the hottest books with the kind of deep discount, quality shipping, and customer service that will keep you coming back for more.
All right, so that was my overview of each of these 4 books. Let me know in the comments below which one looks interesting to you, which one you might be picking up, and if there are any other Mad Cave Studio books that you want us to review here on the channel. As always, you can find me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Reels Talks, and you also get to see me sometime on Old Reader, New Reader, and also here doing our reviews. So thank you everyone, have a great day, and I'll see y'all soon.